What are you trying to do? Win yourself a wooden cross or something?
I thought I told you to get on down the hill.
Thought you might need this. Think you got a corner on all this real estate?
When it comes to Hollywood legends, we often think of charisma, talent, and charm. But today we're diving into a different kind of legend. The toughest actors who brought intensity, grit, and pure ruggedness to the silver screen. Number 20. Danny Trejo. Growing up in a rough neighborhood, Danny Trejo dreamt of becoming a professional boxer. However, life took him down a different path, and he ended up addicted to drugs, leading to a 10-year prison sentence for various crimes. But even in the depths of San Quentin, Trejo didn't give up on his dreams. He used his time behind bars to hone his boxing skills, preparing himself for a comeback, not in the ring, but on the silver screen. After his release from prison and completing a rehab program, Trejo got his first break in the movie Runaway Train, 1985, initially cast in a minor role. Fate, it seems, had other plans. The movie's screenwriter, who happened to know Trejo from his time at San Quentin and recognized his boxing prowess, hired him to train the actors for the film's intense action scenes. As luck would have it, while training, Eric Roberts, the director, noticed Trejo's on-screen presence and offered him a more significant role. And that's when the world got its first taste of Danny Trejo, the ultimate tough guy. His rugged appearance and gritty demeanor made him the go-to actor for roles that demanded street smarts and a fearless attitude. From his breakout role as Razor Charlie in From Dusk Till Dawn, to appearances in blockbusters like Michael Bay's Con Air and his iconic portrayal of Machete, Trejo has shown his versatility as an actor. In fact, in 2013 alone, he amassed an astonishing 20 credits in film and TV productions, a feat few can match. Number 19. Peter Julien Ortiz. Born on July 5, 1913 in New York, Ortiz had a heritage as diverse as his talents. With an American mother of Swiss descent and a French-born Spanish father, Ortiz grew up with a unique cultural blend that served him well in his future endeavors. His journey to Hollywood was anything but ordinary. Ortiz wasn't just a talented actor, he was a polyglot who could fluently speak 10 languages, including English, Spanish, French, Italian, German, and Arabic. This linguistic prowess would prove invaluable during his remarkable life. Ortiz's path to fame wasn't a straight line. At 19, he joined the French Foreign Legion, embarking on 5 years of service in North Africa. There, he rose through the ranks and earned numerous accolades, including the Croix de Guerre and the Médaille Militaire. But when World War II erupted, Ortiz's adventures took a cinematic turn. After escaping German capture and making his way back to the U.S., he enlisted in the Marine Corps. Due to his extensive training and experience, he quickly rose to the rank of captain. Ortiz's knowledge of the region made him an ideal candidate for reconnaissance missions behind enemy lines. He joined the Office of Strategic Services and was dropped into German-occupied France not once but twice. His missions included evaluating the capabilities of the resistance and aiding downed RAF pilots. His bravery didn't go unnoticed. Ortiz received the Navy Cross, Legion of Merit, Purple Heart, and more from the US, British, and French governments, accumulating an impressive total of 24 medals. Following his heroic actions in the military, Ortiz found himself back in Hollywood, where he made appearances in films like Rio Grande, 13 Rue Madeleine, and Operation Secret. Number 18. Victor McLaglen. Victor McLaglen, born on December 11, 1883, in the serene English town of Tunbridge Wells, had an upbringing that seemed far from the rugged roles he'd later become famous for in Hollywood. His father was the Right Reverend Andrew McLaglen, a Protestant clergyman and former Bishop of Claremont in South Africa. Victor was the oldest of 8 brothers, and his genteel beginnings hinted at anything but a tough guy persona. However, as the saying goes, it's often the quiet ones you have to watch out for. At the age of 17, McLaglen joined the Life Guards, eager to see action in the Boer War. But his father's intervention prevented this military path, setting the stage for a different kind of adventure. Victor's adventurous spirit led him to Canada, where he initially worked as a farm laborer. But his pugnacious character soon pushed him into a new career, professional fighting. He toured with circuses, vaudeville acts, and Wild West shows, challenging anyone and everyone to a fight. His journey took him across borders to the USA, South Africa, and Australia, where he even faced off against the world heavyweight champion Jack Johnson in a grueling 6-round battle. In 1915, Victor McLaglen's life took yet another turn. He joined the 10th Battalion, the Middlesex Regiment, as a second lieutenant, eventually serving in the Middle East as the Deputy Assistant Provost Marshal for Baghdad during World War I. After the war, he tried to revive his boxing career in Britain but found a different calling. In 1920, he landed a significant acting role in the film The Call of the Road. His debut was a success, and he quickly became a popular leading man in British silent films. In 1924, he received an offer that would change the course of his life, a leading role in the American film The Beloved Route. The move to Hollywood in 1925 marked the beginning of a remarkable Hollywood career that saw him playing tough, rugged characters in numerous films. Number 17. Eddie Albert. I don't really care how I am remembered, as long as I bring happiness and joy to people. These are the words of Eddie Albert Heimberger, a man who indeed brought happiness to many through his acting career. Born on April 22, 1906 in Minneapolis as the oldest of 5 children, Eddie's journey from humble beginnings to Hollywood fame is extraordinary. As a child, Eddie started working as a paperboy at the tender age of 6, displaying a strong work ethic from the start. He faced challenges during his early years, including taunts about his German last name during the tumultuous times around World War I. To make matters easier, he eventually dropped the Heimberger from his name, as it was often mispronounced as hamburger in the entertainment industry. Unlike many actors who found fame first and later joined the military, Eddie Albert's abilities serendipitously aligned with the military's needs. He had toured Mexico as a clown and high-wire artist, all the while secretly working for Army intelligence to capture images of U-boats before World War II. His dedication to serving his country led him to enlist in the Navy in 1942, and within a year he was discharged to accept an officer position in the Naval Reserve. Eddie's heroism came to the forefront during the Battle of Tarawa. In the midst of this intense battle that lasted for 3 grueling days, he fought in the first wave of combat. When most of the fighting had subsided, his mission was to salvage equipment on the battlefield. However, he disregarded orders and instead began the brave work of pulling wounded Marines to safety. In the chaotic waters, with enemy combatants picking off Marines, Eddie Albert demonstrated unparalleled courage. He rescued 47 wounded comrades and oversaw the rescue of 30 more. His selflessness extended even to those who chose to stay behind and fight with whatever they could find. Tragically, some of them fell under enemy fire. After his military service, Eddie Albert returned to acting with newfound fame. His filmography boasts notable titles like Escape to Witch Mountain, Miracle of the White Stallions, and You Gotta Stay Happy. However, he is perhaps best remembered for his role on the CBS sitcom Green Acres, which aired from 1965 to 1971. Albert passed away in 2005 at the age of 99. Number 16. James Doohan. During World War II, Doohan served valiantly with the Canadian Armed Forces. Although he was nicknamed the craziest pilot in the Canadian Air Force, it's worth noting that he flew as an artillery spotter and was never a formal member of the Air Force. James had a penchant for daring aerial feats, once embarking on a dangerous stunt in a Taylorcraft Oster Mark IV, navigating through a treacherous line of telephone poles simply because he was dared to do so. However, it was his service with the 14th Field Artillery Regiment of the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division that truly showcased his heroism. He was among the brave soldiers who took part in the historic D-Day landing at Normandy. In the midst of the chaos and danger, Doohan displayed exceptional courage. Leading his platoon up the heavily mined beaches, he personally eliminated 2 Nazi snipers. But the horrors of war would soon find him. Doohan became a victim of friendly fire, sustaining 6 gunshot wounds during a tragic incident. As a result, he lost the middle finger of his right hand. To conceal this wartime injury, he took care to hide his missing finger while portraying Scotty on the Star Trek TV series. Number 15. James Stewart. His legacy is firmly etched in film history, alongside luminaries like Humphrey Bogart and Cary Grant, as one of the greatest actors ever, according to the American Film Institute. However, Jimmy Stewart's story goes beyond the silver screen. He was not just a movie legend, but a true American hero. Before his military career took off in 1941, Stewart was already a beloved figure in Hollywood. Yet, when the call to duty arrived, he answered without hesitation. He enlisted in the Air Corps, and despite the reservations of his superiors, who were reluctant to see him in harm's way, Stewart was adamant about wanting to serve on combat missions. In the crucible of World War II, Jimmy Stewart displayed unwavering bravery. He not only served as a military pilot, but also assumed the role of squadron leader, guiding his comrades through perilous bombing raids over Germany. Stewart's dedication to the military didn't end with World War II. He continued his service even during the Vietnam War. His exemplary service and contributions led to his rise in the ranks, culminating in his appointment as a USAF Reserve Brigadier General. Number 14. Clint Walker. Growing up, Walker left high school to enter the workforce, taking on a range of jobs, from factory work to employment on a riverboat. When World War II erupted, he joined the U.S. Merchant Marines, where he played a crucial role in delivering supplies and troops for the U.S. Navy. Following his service, Walker continued to work odd jobs, including stints as a doorman and a sheet metal worker. In 1954, a pivotal opportunity arose when a friend in the film industry helped Walker secure bit parts in movies. His towering stature, standing at an impressive 6 feet 6 inches with broad shoulders, made him stand out. These bit parts caught the attention of Warner Brothers, leading to his breakthrough role as Cheyenne Bodie in the 1955 TV series Cheyenne. Cheyenne was groundbreaking in its own right, becoming the first hour-long drama series with regular characters to last more than one television season. In this role, Walker portrayed a drifter who took on odd jobs across the Wild West, and he had the chance to work alongside renowned guest stars like Dennis Hopper, Angie Dickinson, and James Garner. The series ran successfully from 1955 to 1963, with a brief hiatus during salary negotiations. Walker's legacy extended beyond acting. In 2003, he collaborated with Western author Kirby Jones to write the novel Yaqui Gold. At the age of 91, he passed away from congestive heart failure after a legendary career on Hollywood's biggest stage. Number 13. William Smith. Smith held a record for reverse curling an astonishing 163 pounds. Smith wasn't just strong, he was also a two-time arm wrestling world champion. His athleticism extended beyond arm wrestling. He competed as a downhill skier and even raced in motocross events alongside none other than the legendary Steve McQueen. In the boxing ring, Smith boasted an impressive 31-1 record as an amateur boxer, proving his mettle in yet another discipline. Not confined to sports, Smith excelled in the military as well. He held the Air Force Light Heavyweight Weightlifting Championship, highlighting his dedication to physical fitness. In a display of endurance, he performed an astounding 5,100 continuous sit-ups over a 5-hour period, setting a remarkable benchmark. But Smith's talents weren't limited to athletics. He showcased his acting prowess in iconic roles. One notable performance saw him as Falconetti in Rich Man, Poor Man, and he engaged in a memorable fight scene with none other than Clint Eastwood in Any Which Way. If you've never seen their epic brawl in Darker Than Amber, it's a must-watch. Beyond his physicality, Smith was a scholar. Fluent in 5 languages, he held a PhD and taught Russian at UCLA. His academic journey included studies at prestigious institutions like the Sorbonne in Paris and the University of Munich. During the Korean War, Smith served as a Russian intercept interrogator and conducted secret missions over Russia. His intelligence and capabilities earned him CIA and NSA clearance, and he aspired to hold a classified position within the U.S. government. However, his marriage to a French actress led to the loss of his security clearance. Number 12. Kirk Douglas. Born into a harsh environment of poverty with an abusive, alcoholic father, Kirk's upbringing forged his assertive and pugnacious personality. Facing anti-immigrant and anti-Semitic prejudice due to his Russian-Jewish immigrant background, he turned to boxing as an outlet for his strength and resilience. Before he became an actor, Douglas joined the U.S. Navy and served in World War II. His military career was cut short when he was injured by a prematurely detonated depth charge while serving on a submarine, resulting in his release in 1944. As an actor, Kirk Douglas displayed a remarkable range that few could rival. From tough guys to sensitive artists, he embraced diverse roles spanning film noir, light comedies, romance, children's movies, dark dramas, historical biopics, and gritty westerns. His versatility was a reflection of his own multifaceted nature as a brash, intelligent, athletic, creative, and witty individual. Beyond acting, Douglas ventured into producing, directing, and writing, establishing his own company, named after his mother. He produced acclaimed films like Paths of Glory and Spartacus, directed by the then unknown Stanley Kubrick. Spartacus played a significant role in promoting the real name of blacklisted screenwriter Dalton Trumbo, contributing to the end of the Hollywood blacklist. Kirk Douglas was not only a tough screen legend, but also a generous philanthropist, donating tens of millions to support various causes, from struggling actors to the homeless and the fight against Alzheimer's disease. Douglas's life was marked by defying the odds. At 74, he survived a deadly helicopter crash that took the lives of 2 others. Later, at 79, he endured a stroke that doctors believed would silence him forever. However, he fought relentlessly, overcoming medical predictions and regaining his speech. Kirk Douglas lived to the remarkable age of 103. Number 11. Sterling Hayden. Sterling Hayden, a towering figure at 6 feet 5 inches, possessed a commanding screen presence that earned him nicknames like the Blonde Viking God and the Most Beautiful Man in the Movies. Hayden harbored a deep-seated aversion to Hollywood and its values, referring to himself with a snarl, quote, "I'm no actor, I'm a sailor." He found solace and passion in the world of seafaring, serving as both captain and first mate on numerous commercial ships. Breaking away from his budding acting career, Hayden joined the U.S. Army during World War II. His determination was evident as he refused to let a broken ankle deter him, although it led to his discharge. Undeterred, he adopted a fake name and enlisted in the Marines, eventually earning a commission as a second lieutenant. His service took an intriguing turn when he was assigned to undercover work by the Office of Strategic Services. Hayden's clandestine missions involved smuggling supplies into fascist-occupied territory in the Balkans and daring parachute landings in Axis-controlled Croatia. During one extraordinary mission, he rescued around 20 downed Allied airmen, an act of bravery that earned him the Silver Star. His superiors noted that Hayden appeared to have little regard for his own safety. Hayden's autobiography, The Wanderer, offers an insightful glimpse into the life of a true tough guy and Hollywood maverick. Number 10. Sean Connery. Sean Connery, the iconic original James Bond. Even 4 decades after his last portrayal of the suave secret agent, no one has managed to erase his legacy as the classic 007. With 7 memorable appearances as James Bond, Connery became synonymous with the character, earning a spot as the 3rd greatest cinema hero according to the American Film Institute, surpassed only by Indiana Jones and Atticus Finch. His portrayal of Bond exuded a unique blend of charisma and toughness that resonated with audiences worldwide. Connery, often hailed as Scotland's greatest film export, extended his remarkable career beyond espionage thrillers. He excelled in roles as military-esque, no-nonsense figures and fatherly characters with distinctive accents. In his later years, Connery chose to maintain a low profile, embracing retirement despite numerous requests to return to the limelight. Notably, he faced a controversy during a Barbara Walters interview when he defended his stance on slapping women. Surprisingly, this did not diminish his appeal, as People magazine named him the sexiest man of the century when he was 69 years old. One of Connery's most pivotal decisions was to decline the role of Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. His decision ensured that he remained the embodiment of James Bond, undiluted by any other iconic roles. It's a testament to Connery's unwavering toughness that he could retire from acting in 2006, citing his displeasure with, quote, "the idiots now making films in Hollywood." Number 9. Lee Marvin. When presented with leading a group of 12 ruthless killers, you have to be certain you choose the right man for the job. Lee Marvin was undoubtedly the right choice. A bona fide tough guy, Marvin's real-life experiences mirrored his on-screen persona. He served as a U.S. Marine in World War II and earned a Purple Heart after surviving a deadly firefight that claimed the lives of most of his company. This background gave him an authentic edge when playing military roles in Hollywood. After the war, Marvin transitioned to the burgeoning film industry in Hollywood, where he initially found steady but relatively small roles. He often portrayed soldiers, cops, or gang members, capitalizing on his rugged appearance and intimidating presence. Gradually, his star began to rise, with notable appearances in The Wild One and various TV shows and films. However, it was his exceptional performance in the Western comedy Cat Ballou that catapulted him to stardom and earned him an Oscar. Yet perhaps his most iconic role came when he was selected to lead The Dirty Dozen, a decision that cemented his status as one of Hollywood's toughest actors. Marvin's toughness extended to his personal life. When offered the role of Quint in Jaws, he declined upon hearing that he wouldn't be fighting a real shark. His final film role saw him leading the elite Navy Squadron Delta Force alongside Chuck Norris. In keeping with the soldier-first, actor-second image, Lee Marvin is laid to rest in the Arlington National Cemetery with a headstone that simply reads, Lee Marvin, PFC, U.S. Marine Corps, World War II. Number 8. Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood, often referred to as the ultimate tough guy in Hollywood, has consistently portrayed rugged and no-nonsense characters throughout his iconic career. Eastwood's filmography is punctuated with characters who are cowboys, cops, and soldiers, cementing his status as one of cinema's quintessential tough guys. He's dispatched more on-screen foes than the infamous horror character Jason Voorhees has claimed victims at Crystal Lake. In his early career, Eastwood was immortalized as the man with no name in Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy, where he portrayed a morally ambiguous cowboy who could be good, bad, or ugly depending on the perspective. Eastwood is known for his versatility as an actor and director, with a career spanning from gritty action to heartwarming drama. He's been romantically involved with multiple partners and has fathered at least 7 children with 5 different women, all while managing to keep his family life relatively private. In a surprising turn of events, Eastwood ventured into politics, serving as the mayor of a California city to prove yet another facet of his diverse capabilities. His memorable conversation with an empty chair during the 2012 Republican National Convention also raised eyebrows and became an internet sensation. Number 7. Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen, often referred to as the King of Cool, was a quintessential tough guy both on and off the screen. He became known for his dedication to performing his own stunts, including car chases and motorcycle sequences in his films. McQueen's love for speed and adrenaline was well known. He was not just an actor, but also a car racing and motorcycle lover. What made McQueen even tougher was his personal history. He had a rough upbringing marked by abandonment and abuse, which contributed to the chip on his shoulder and his unyielding personality. He spent time in reform school at a young age and endured violence. Before becoming a star, McQueen served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 1947 to 1950. During that time, he received training in handling various weapons and gained valuable experience in street fighting. He even had to confront bullying in boot camp and resolve the issue by standing up to his aggressor. In several of his movie roles, McQueen showcased his fighting abilities with realistic depictions of combat. One notable example is the film Soldier in the Rain in 1963, in which he employs practical techniques in a fight scene. Throughout his career, McQueen also demonstrated proficiency in using knives on screen. He engaged in knife fights in various films, often using unconventional weapons like a safety razor or an axe to dispatch his opponents. His realistic portrayal of knife combat was influenced by his Marine Corps training. In the 1966 film Nevada Smith, McQueen displayed a skillful technique of twisting the knife after stabbing an opponent. This move, which creates a quicker bleed-out, was a product of his military training. McQueen's martial arts journey began when he started taking private lessons with Bruce Lee, who would become a close friend. Lee, known for his martial arts prowess, was impressed by McQueen's determination and resilience. Their friendship led to McQueen's brief foray into martial arts and acting, eventually helping him transition into the action film genre. Their friendly rivalry pushed both men to excel in their respective fields. McQueen encouraged Lee to pursue acting, leading to Lee's success in Hollywood. Despite their competitive relationship, McQueen and Lee remained friends until Lee's untimely death in 1973. Number 6. Audie Murphy. Audie Leon Murphy, a true American hero, was not only one of the most decorated combat soldiers of World War II, but also a Hollywood tough guy. Audie Murphy's journey began when he joined the U.S. Army at the age of 17 in 1942, despite initially being rejected due to his age and size. He would go on to become a true master of the art of war. His expertise in combat came from a combination of factors, including his impoverished upbringing, where he learned to hunt rabbits using stealth and tracking skills. One of Murphy's specialties during World War II was eliminating Nazi snipers. He would use his exceptional tracking abilities to get within close range of German snipers and take them out with his carbine. This was a skill he had honed as a child to provide food for himself and his siblings. His willingness to put himself in harm's way was evident when he sustained a serious hip wound, but chose to stay with his unit rather than return home. One of Audie Murphy's most legendary acts of bravery occurred when he stood atop a burning tank destroyer, firing a .50 caliber machine gun at an advancing Nazi unit. He single-handedly halted their advance, a feat of incredible courage that earned him the Congressional Medal of Honor. Murphy's heroism and combat skills were unmatched, and he received numerous awards and decorations for his actions in battle. After World War II, Audie Murphy returned to the U.S. and became a prolific actor in Hollywood. His role as a combat hero in the war translated well to the silver screen, and he starred in more than 40 movies between 1948 and 1969. Murphy's reputation extended beyond the screen. He became a training partner for judo black belt James Cagney, demonstrating his physical prowess and martial skills. Despite initially being the lower-ranking partner, Murphy's dedication and talent led to him regularly outperforming the higher-ranking actor. One remarkable display of Murphy's shooting skills was witnessed by fellow actor Michael Dante. Murphy practiced a quick-draw shooting with a .45 and could shoot the pods off okra plants. He faced and defeated trained enemy soldiers in World War II, a feat that few actors can claim. Number 5. James Cagney. Jimmy Cagney was a legendary Hollywood tough guy known for his charisma, intense performances, and iconic roles as sociopathic gangsters. Born in New York City in 1899, Cagney's early life was marked by a variety of jobs, including working as a bellhop and night doorman. He had a diverse skill set that included tap dancing, street fighting, and amateur boxing. Although he had the potential to become a professional boxer, his mother discouraged it. Cagney's journey into acting began when he replaced his sick brother in a play. This fortuitous opportunity marked the start of his acting career, and he quickly made a name for himself on Broadway and in vaudeville. In 1924, he and his wife moved to California in pursuit of a career in film. However, they initially faced challenges and returned to New York. It wasn't until 1930 that Cagney had his breakthrough moment in the film Sinner's Holiday, thanks to a chance given by Al Jolson. This pivotal role led to a 7-year contract with Warner Brothers, where he continued to rise to fame. Cagney's fame was solidified with his role in The Public Enemy, 1931, a classic gangster film that showcased his talent for playing tough, ruthless characters. Warner Brothers continued to cast him in similar roles, often alongside Edward G. Robinson. Beyond his acting career, Cagney was an advocate for actor equity and played a significant role in the formation of the Screen Actors Guild in 1933. Throughout his career, Cagney faced contract disputes and legal battles with Warner Brothers. Despite temporarily working on independent films, he eventually returned to the studio. Cagney was also the subject of accusations related to communist sympathies in 1934 and 1940. However, he was cleared by the House Un-American Activities Committee. One of Cagney's iconic performances was in Yankee Doodle Dandy, 1942, where he played George M. Cohan, a song and dance man. He received the Best Actor Oscar for this role. Number 4. Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, standing at just 5 foot 7 inches and weighing 135 pounds, defied expectations by becoming an iconic symbol of toughness, both mentally and physically. Bruce Lee's exceptional physique, lightning-fast martial arts movements, and extraordinary strength were on full display in his performances. Facing multiple attackers, Lee made defeating them with his bare hands look effortless. He could send a 300-pound bag soaring to the ceiling with a single kick, and render any opponent defenseless with his famous 1-inch punch. He became a global sensation and played a pivotal role in opening up the overseas Asian market for Hollywood producers. While initially cast as the sidekick Kato in the Green Hornet TV series, he returned to Hong Kong to discover that it was often referred to as The Kato Show, with him as the star. Bruce Lee's impact extended to the careers of other martial arts legends, such as Jackie Chan, Jet Li, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. He played a crucial role in turning martial arts films into a billion-dollar genre that continues to thrive today. His influence can be seen in the works of filmmakers like the Zucker brothers and Quentin Tarantino. As the first true star of Asian descent to achieve full creative control over his movies, Bruce Lee made a lasting impact on Hollywood. He directed, wrote, and choreographed fight scenes, breaking barriers and setting a precedent for future generations. Bruce Lee's determination and innovation were evident in his development of Jeet Kune Do, or the Way of the Intercepting Fist. He adapted martial arts to suit his evolving physique and fighting style, creating a highly effective approach. Bruce Lee's legendary status was tragically cut short by his untimely death at the age of 32 due to a brain aneurysm. Number 3. Sessue Hayakawa. Born into a noble Japanese family with samurai ancestry, Hayakawa's early dreams of joining the Imperial Navy were shattered when he ruptured his eardrums in a diving accident. This setback led him down an entirely different path, one that would make him a legendary figure in both American and global cinema. Hayakawa quickly rose to fame in Hollywood. His brooding good looks, devilish charm, and an air of danger made him irresistible to audiences, particularly women. His ability to convey menace and sex appeal simultaneously set him apart, and he became the Asian equivalent of Rudolph Valentino. However, Hayakawa faced the challenges of being an Asian actor in an era when racial prejudices were rampant. He was often typecast as a villain or exotic character, but his talent transcended these limitations. He played romantic leads at times, which challenged prevailing stereotypes about Asian masculinity and relationships. He garnered attention from female admirers and had relationships with many Hollywood starlets, showgirls, and actresses, including Irish showgirls. He openly adopted children he fathered with white women, causing scandal in an era marked by racism and xenophobia. Refusing to conform to the model minority stereotype, Hayakawa embraced his role as a Hollywood bad boy. Hayakawa's career spanned several decades, from the 1910s to the 1960s, extending well into the color film era. One of his most memorable roles was as the brutal camp commander in Bridge over the River Kwai in 1957. During his heyday, he earned a staggering average of $2 million per year, equivalent to about $30 million today. He was the highest-earning star of his time, even surpassing the likes of Charlie Chaplin for a period. As a martial artist trained in the East, Hayakawa wasn't just an actor, he was also a fighter. He faced challenges from jealous husbands, boyfriends, and ordinary American men who felt threatened by his success. Trained in martial arts, he was known to take on these challenges and emerge victorious, defending not only himself but also millions of Asian men he represented and inspired. Sessue Hayakawa should have died at age 18, having stabbed himself 30 times. Instead, some higher force miraculously kept him alive for almost 70 more years. He died in 1973 at the age of 87, one of Hollywood's toughest actors ever to grace the silver screen with his magnetic presence. He changed Hollywood forever, and in the end, was shamefully forgotten. Number 2. Sir Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee's extensive filmography includes over 240 movie roles. He portrayed major villains in various iconic films, including Count Dracula in Hammer horror movies, Count Dooku in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, Francisco Caramanga in The Man with the Golden Gun, and the formidable Saruman in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies. However, what sets Christopher Lee apart is his remarkable military service during World War II. While some claims about his wartime exploits have been debated, there is no need for embellishment because his actual service record is impressive. Lee served as an RAF pilot officer and intelligence officer during the war. He was attached to both Popsky's private army and the SAS, operating behind enemy lines during the North African campaign. His duties included gathering critical intelligence and conducting daring missions. He was a member of one of the original SAS units, which required exceptional toughness, intelligence, and a willingness to kill when necessary. During the Battle of Monte Cassino, Lee served as an officer with the Gurkha Regiment, an elite force known for their bravery and combat skills. This experience was particularly impressive as it involved some of the fiercest fighting in the war. After the war, Christopher Lee continued to demonstrate his intelligence and courage as he was involved in hunting down Nazi war criminals. He was tasked with interrogating and apprehending these individuals, often facing the horrifying aftermath of the concentration camps. Lee's linguistic abilities were equally impressive as he was fluent in 8 languages: English, German, French, Spanish, Italian, Swedish, Russian, and Greek. His experiences during the war left a lasting impact on him, as he witnessed the horrors of torture, mutilation, and death. He once commented that he had become somewhat hardened to these experiences. In addition to his acting career, Christopher Lee was also a musician and an author. One time, Lee and a director flew into Prague to film a generic monster movie. Upon landing, the director noticed a military guard of honor and said, "I wonder who that's for." Lee replied, "My dear boy, it's for me. I was involved in the assassination of Reinhard Heydrich." Number 1. Charles Bronson. Born Charles Buczynski to a Polish immigrant family, he grew up as the 11th of 15 children in a small mining town. His early years were marked by hard physical labor as he began shoveling coal at the age of 10 after his father's death. World War II played a pivotal role in Bronson's life, pulling him from the coal mines and into active service as an aerial gunner. During his military service, he earned a Purple Heart. After the war, Bronson gradually transitioned into an acting career, starting with small roles in 1951. It wasn't long before he adopted the stage name Bronson, as his agent believed that his Eastern European surname might hinder his chances in Hollywood during the era of the Red Scare. Bronson's gruff exterior, leathered face, and all-action, no-nonsense persona made him a natural fit for tough guy roles in various genres, including westerns, gangster films, and war movies. One of the most intriguing aspects of Charles Bronson's life was his real-life toughness. He wasn't just a tough guy on screen, he lived it. He fearlessly pursued what he wanted, as seen when he boldly told fellow actor David McCallum on the set of The Great Escape that he would marry McCallum's wife, Jill Ireland. He did just that, and they remained married for 20 years until her passing. Bronson's tough image even led to an interesting twist of fate when he was deemed, quote, too tough-looking to play the role of Snake Plissken in John Carpenter's Escape from New York, a role that ultimately went to Kurt Russell. In the words of director Quentin Tarantino, quote, he's not likable and he doesn't apologize. I'm attracted to that because I've been raised in a movie world where men have become emasculated. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't connect with guys like that. I like guys who are a little rough around the edges. When the expletive goes down, that's the guy I want to be next to. Thank you for watching. Did we miss anyone you think deserves a place among these greats? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, if you found this video as exciting as we did, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for more thrilling content. We've got plenty more Hollywood secrets and stories to share with you. Stay tuned.